What's going on? We back. Goodfellas Sports TV breakdown prediction for Danny Jacobs taking on Serhiy Derevyanchenko for the vacant IBF title. That was stripped from Gennady Golovkin for fighting Vanes Monterosian, not fighting his IBF mandatory or fighting an approved voluntary mandatory back in May. So now Derevyanchenko is fighting Danny Jacobs. Derevyanchenko chose to fight Danny Jacobs. He could have fought Martin Murray for the title and probably got a easier shot at it, but he chose to want Danny Jacobs. I explained that as well. But shout out to everybody that's holding us down. Let's rock with it. Shout out to all the real boxing fans, you know what I'm saying? Not these fanboy channels that you'll never see prediction videos from. Not these dudes that claim to be for the boxing, but they for an individual fighter. You know what I'm saying? You know? Because if that individual fighter wasn't in the sport of boxing, they wouldn't be in the sport of boxing. So let me just say that. Okay. And shout out to my real hardcore fans, man. Also got an announcement to make. I will no longer be doing the morning boxing talk show in the morning no more. That's done. Hasta Vista. I get time in my day when I'm done doing what I'm doing, working, moving and grooving. If I do a live stream, it'll be throughout the day, at night, evening, more about then. In the morning, I'm gonna just take it to a different platform. I'm not gonna talk about boxing in the morning no more. I let everybody else do what they do, man. There's plenty of other good boxing shows on that talk in the morning. I'm just switching it up, and yeah, I'm switching the page up. But one thing about right here, before I get to the prediction video, I never stop doing these. You know, I never stop doing prediction videos. I might not do a reaction video, or I might not do some of the topic, rumors, meal no more. Most of that is probably going to be slashed out in the next 12 months. I'm just being generous saying 12 months. So, but I'm always going to do these prediction videos. I know all my hardcore fans, they appreciate it. Those are the guys that I want as my subscriber base for boxing. I want the hardcore fans. You know, I don't want these reality TV show fans, these fickle fans, man, or people follow my page. But let's get into it, man. Derevyanchenko obviously significantly shorter than Danny Jacobs. They say Derevyanchenko comes in at 5'9", I think with a 67-inch reach. Danny Jacobs is listed at 5'11 and a half. So we say about 6 feet. I think it's a little bit more than 3 inches between them. You know what I'm saying? About 3 inches between them. This look like maybe 4, 5 inches. I thought Danny Jacobs was around 6 foot. So Derevyanchenko might be more about the 5'7", 5'8" variety as well. Talk about strengths and weaknesses. Strengths of Danny Jacobs. We most seen Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs is a supreme athlete, supreme skilled, fluid athlete. You know, good puncher with both hands. Excellent puncher with both hands. You know, experience is one of his biggest strengths here. You got a good punch variety. You got a good jab, left hook, right hook, uppercut. Good body puncher. I think Danny Jacobs is a very underrated body puncher. And he punches to the body with much conviction. And also, people forget, you know, people act like Terrence Crawford is only a switch hitter in boxing. Danny Jacobs can switch hit, and he does it from time to time. I don't think a lot of people notice it because he doesn't really utilize it, but he may utilize it here. But he is an orthodox fighter. You know, good power, good jab, good strong jab. Like, it's a power jab, but he got a little speed on it. You know what I'm saying? Good right hand, good left hook to the body, good right hand to the body. Just overall, a really good fighter, man, and strong and athletic. Like, he's everything you pretty much want in a really good middleweight. Okay, Serhiy Derevyanchenko, you know, good fighter. Really good fighter. Good boxer. Good footwork. He uses awkward angles. He sidestep. You give you the cold shoulder. Good body puncher. Good left hook to the body. Good left hook to the head. Good jab. Strong right hand straight down the pipe. I mean, that right hand is square business, man. You know what I'm saying? Really good strong right hand. And we know, well, I'll get into that later about the right hand versus Danny Jacobs. But good footwork, man. Good fighter. He can move his head a little bit, but he ain't really a big head mover. And neither is Danny Jacobs. They both can move it when they have to. And they both got, you know, I mean, Derevyanchenko really got good footwork. He pivot. He can fight on the back foot. He can fight on the front foot. You know, his back foot boxing, which I hadn't really seen until I really looked at the film, It really, really impressed me a lot. And on the front foot, he is savage. Got a really good uppercut too. Especially being a shorter guy, he could really generate a lot of leverage coming underneath with that uppercut. He poses a lot of issues. Talking about the weaknesses, Derevyanchenko, obviously he only been 12, I would believe, one time versus Torian Johnson. They had already fought in amateurs as well. So experience in the ring on this elite level. He had 23 fights in the World Series of Boxing. You know, but that's one of his weaknesses. He get hit a lot. He get hit sucker for a left hook, and Danny Jacobs got a really good left hook. So something I did notice. He get hit with a lot of left hooks. He get hit with a lot of right hands, and he get hit a lot, man. That's what I can say. Experience, getting hit a lot, not going 12 but one time. Experienced amateur. But I see a lot of opportunities. You know, for he get hit a lot. He take chances, and if you could punch with him, you could put him down. Talk about Danny Jacobs. Everybody talk about the chin. People go back to the Pro-Rock fight. Obviously, his grandmother died that same day. Obviously, nobody know the extent of his cancer history because he got hit with cancer a little bit after that, a while after that. But also what reaffirmed the chin was when Sergio Moore dropped him before he tore his leg up in that fight. He dropped him. Obviously, Triple G dropped him. I think it was a balance shot. I think he went to southpaw. And now, when I just watched that fight again for like the 10,000th time. But Danny Jacobs get hit a lot. You know, he ain't no slick fighter. He got, you know, he look fast, he athletic, good, you know, everything, but he not slick. His defense is average at best. I think both of these guys' defense are average. Well, I'm making this a great fight, but his defense is average at best. He get hit with a lot of right hands. But, you know, he got hit with a lot of right hands versus Serhiy. Aries hit him with some overhand rights as well, too. But Serhiy was, you know, his equal in height or taller. But one thing I do think is Danny Jacobs might be a little bit shop worn. You know, we see this fight because since the Golovkin fight, each performance has been worse. The Luis Arias fight, the Serhiy fight. So, you know, you wonder if Abel Sanchez was true when they say Danny Jacobs acquired some, you know, Triple G took some lifespan off his boxing career. We already know he had the cancer as well. And this is his first, if Danny Jacobs wins, this will be his first real world title. So with Derevyanchenko being like 13-0 with like 11 knockouts, whatever his record is. Game plan for Danny Jacobs. You know, Derevyanchenko is an animal coming forward. He can fight going backwards, but I like to take my chances, you know, putting him on the back foot. I don't think he fights as good on the back foot as the front foot. So I take my chances putting the jab, sticking the jab out there, and you know, keeping him guessing with the jab and the left hook and start right there. That's gonna be Jacobs' real key. It's that left hook. If you're gonna beat Derevyanchenko, it's gonna be with a left hook. And it's going to be, you know, trying to catch Derevyanchenko, jumping on the inside and taking a chance and turning good defense to offense. So you got to be defensive, got to be ready to catch shots, roll shots. In return, Danny Jacobs, say what you want to. He's a good counterpuncher for a guy who ain't have all that good upper body movement. He's an excellent counterpuncher. So counterpunching is going to be at a premium for Danny Jacobs. If Danny Jacobs is going to win this fight, it's going to be because his counterpunching. He's going to catch Derevyanchenko with a left hook, counter left hook. Also, I think, you know, consider going to Derevyanchenko body a little bit, but I don't think he needs to give up his height advantage. I think he need to keep that jab on him and, you know, counter with a left hook and then apparently jab right hand, you know, jab right hand, double jab right hand, lead left hook right hand. So I think that's pretty much the combination for him. Keep Derevyanchenko at the end of his punches, control distance, let Derevyanchenko jump in and catch him when he comes in and counterpunch. Danny Jacobs is a good counterpuncher, especially when he doesn't load up on his shots. But I think that's really pretty much what Danny Jacobs got to do. You know what I'm saying? Push Derevyanchenko on the back foot when he comes forward. Be prepared to step to the side. Don't go straight back. Because you go straight back, Danny Jacobs going to be caught with that straight right hand, man. I'm telling you, that straight right hand got enough power to put him out. And when he hits you with that straight right hand, Derevyanchenko likes to roll, come underneath with a good left uppercut. And it got a lot of leverage on that left uppercut. You know what I'm saying? So that's some things he got to worry about. He got to worry about Derevyanchenko jumping in and Derevyanchenko baiting him on the ropes and him not committing and thinking he got Derevyanchenko in a position of weakness. And then Derevyanchenko play possum and then counter and knock Danny Jacobs down or hurt him or something of that nature. Derevyanchenko got punching power in both hands as well as Danny Jacobs, excuse me. Derevyanchenko, what he needs to do is push Danny Jacobs back. You get in Danny Jacobs' wheelhouse, be on the front foot. Kind of makes sense to side and on the back foot move, but mostly on the front foot. Rip Danny Jacobs' body, set Danny Jacobs up, kind of dip. He got this little dip feint he do, and he kind of come up with a left hook. And then you think he needs to set Danny Jacobs up, dip, instead of coming with the left hook, come straight down the pipe and pop up with a straight right hand. down the pipe. And Danny Jacobs is a sucker for a right hand, no matter the height of the fighter. I think Derevyanchenko can do that. Also, Derevyanchenko needs to work Danny Jacobs' body. Danny Jacobs is always in good shape, but it doesn't hurt to kind of diffuse the power and make a power outage happen. Work the body, and continue to do that. Use his jab with the jabber. Danny Jacobs had a good jab. I think Derevyanchenko's jab is a different type of jab. It's more of a speed piston-like jab. They kind of got similar jab, but sometimes Danny Jacobs throws his jab as a thudding jab, and Derevyanchenko kind of throws a piston-like sharp jab sometimes. So it's going to be a good battle with the jabs. But I think, Derevyanchenko keep that high guard tight, feint, left hook, go to the body, pop up with the left hook to the head, set Danny Jacobs up. Don't throw that left hook to the head when you pop up to really land with bad intentions. You throw it as a throwaway punch, as a setup punch. So as the fight goes on, when Danny Jacobs get fatigued, then when you pop up, he think he about to pop up with the left hook. You pop up, you feint the left hook, you come up, feint the left hook, straight right down the pipe. That's what he got to do. Both of these dudes got to set each other up. For Derevyanchenko, I just think it's more about aggression. For Danny Jacobs, it's more about countering Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko get hit a lot. Both of them get hit a lot in fights. But Derevyanchenko get hit a lot with left hooks and little right hands. So he's very offensive. So it's all about counter punching for Danny. That plays into Danny's hands. The counter punching ability. Danny Jacobs is passive. He like to fight on the back foot. That plays into Derevyanchenko hands, coming forward and making something happen. So it's either going to be the counter left hook that is Derevyanchenko's demise, or it's going to be the big right hand and the volume punching or uppercut. That's Danny Jacobs' demise in this fight. And I think hand speed is very, very and then Danny Jacobs' favorite, but Derevyanchenko ain't got bad hand speed. And I wouldn't be surprised if Derevyanchenko did have faster hands or as fast hands as Danny Jacobs on fight night. I just been noticing some drop off and some energy drop off, and some discipline drop off from Danny Jacobs listening to Andre Rozier, especially versus the Lucky fight. He wanted to load up, and I think another thing that may factor in this fight being in New York. It seems that when Jacobs fought in Brooklyn last time, which is still close to Madison Square Garden, they were fighting in the theater room. He just was tight. He wasn't listening to Rozier. He was trying to score the knockout. If Danny Jacobs tries to force a knockout versus Derevyanchenko will knock him out. So Danny Jacobs got to just let punches flow. Be ready to counter. Be ready to be sharp. Your vision got to be sharp. And I think the counter left hand is what's going to do it for Danny Jacobs. Obviously, to pick a winner. Drum roll, please. And half the time when I get to this point, some of the times I don't even know who I'm actually picking. But in this fight, I'm going to go ahead and roll with Danny Jacobs. I'm going to say Danny Jacobs' experience going 12 hard, long rounds. His experience with Derevyanchenko in the ring. I'm going to pick Danny Jacobs in this fight, man. I was leaning towards Derevyanchenko, but watching the film, I'm going to say Danny Jacobs officially snatches his first real world title versus for the IBF championship belt versus Serhiy Derevyanchenko. I think he knocks the beginning of the end is going to him. His kind of left hook, he going to land on Derevyanchenko. I think he come fully prepared, fully focused. He knows Derevyanchenko in and out. They was sparring partners. They was stable mates. And I think he beats Derevyanchenko. I think he's going to beat him. I wouldn't be surprised if Derevyanchenko knocked Danny Jacobs out. But I think Danny Jacobs has proven that he has an adorable chin, and the past is the past. And I'm gonna roll with Danny Jacobs. I like Danny Jacobs a lot. And like here, I don't have an allegiance to any fighter, any network or anything like that. I would love the PBC to have this belt, but I'm just going basically what the tape tells me and no biasness. I got Danny Jacobs. I'm gonna say unanimous decision, Danny Jacobs. I'm gonna say unanimous decision, Danny Jacobs. I think he might drop Derevyanchenko with a counter left hook. No, well, I'm gonna go out and say a knockout, Danny Jacobs. I'm gonna say 10th round knockout, Danny Jacobs, counter left hook. That's my opinion. Derevyanchenko went 12 once. Danny Jacobs went 12 4 times. So shout out to this fight. It's in New York City, Madison Square Garden Theater Room. Go check it out. Goodfellas Sports TV. Shout out to everybody that's holding us down. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Shout out to everybody that donate, super chats, and the PayPal link in the description. Shout out to everybody that do that. And I definitely appreciate everybody continue to listen. And never know, we're gonna go live.